Oh, hang on. Help.
But you're not actually.
Everyone, keep honking. Honk like your lives depend on it. Hello. Honking can cease. Hello and welcome everyone to our next game in our 12-hour charity live stream. Hello, my name is DM Dan. We are the Explorers of Elsewhere. I am currently joined by this way, Julia.
Hi.
Livy.
Hey.
Lawrence. That
Hello.
way. And Nate.
Hello.
Down there, somewhere. Hello. Yes, welcome. We are crashing through these games with all the subtlety of a thrown brick. We have raised a crazy amount of money already. Thank you, everyone, for your donations so far. Thank you, everyone in chat who's stuck with us and are kind of keeping us going with your chatter and banter. Even that lets us know that we're kind of on the right track and we're doing good things. Yes, we are raising money for 1625 Independent People, who are a charity in the southwest of England, here in Bristol, in the UK, and they do what they can to help young people who are experiencing homelessness, which is something that no one period should have to kind of tackle. But yeah, any money that we do raise can be used by 1625 to help people in such a in the unfortunate situation as homelessness. We have currently to date £395 in the kitty. Woo woo! We have a number of stretch goals throughout the a number of goals throughout the day. Let me change the color of that so it's easier to read. We've already smashed through our first goal at £250, which enabled me to eat to get your vitamin C for the day. To get my vitamin C for the day, I had to eat 2.5 lemons whilst carrying on.
That's £100 per lemon.
That's that is long behind me now. And also, we're not that far off from our next goal, which is £500, where I will be required to do a shot of hot sauce. For reference, despite my heritage, I have a timid palate. And I cannot guarantee my personal well-being in the aftermath of said hot sauce shot. But, whatever. YOLO. It's for charity. So, make sure to dig deep, donate, to see me go through an intense amount of pain, and in doing so, introduce a intense amount of comedy for you all. In addition, there will be donations just here next to me, donation rewards. So £5 and £10 allow the players to re-roll successes or failures. I say allow a re-roll of a success, force a re-roll of a success. At £20, the danger level of this game rises, though we'll come back to that in a bit. And at £40, plot twist occurs. So the game in question is One Honk Before Midnight. This is a beautiful little game that I feel like what you can see on screen is kind of giving you a picture of what's kind of happening, but maybe we'll just let the exposition tell the rest of the story. But we'll do a quick whip round of the players that are gathered here with me, so we can kind of go through our geese. Let's start with Julia. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Who is your goose?
My goose is she's an emperor goose, which I didn't know that was a type of goose until I was doing my research for this game. She is the empress.
The empress.
Okay. Yes. She's very she thinks she is the ruler of all the local geese. I don't know if the other geese share that impression, but that's certainly what she thinks.
Okay, so we have an emperor goose called the Empress, who sees herself as a bit of a hotshot. Livy, and you've got your drawing here, your hands drawn goose with her little crown.
Yes.
Amazing.
Isn't she pretty?
She's very pretty. Next up, we have Livy. Hello.
Hello.
Who is this stud muffin of a goose you have next to your head?
His name is Goose Willis, and
I love it.
he's just trying to get through the day. He's just trying to get through his day. That's all he's doing. Just here.
Is it always Christmas Eve for Goose
It's
Willis?
it's every day is Christmas Eve for Goose Willis.
Okay.
Oh,
So we have Goose Willis. I will caveat as we get into it, there might be a few unexpected twists and turns with regards to these geese. I have checked this out with like the Royal Society of Birds, and everything that the geese can do in this game has been documented in real life. I won't say any more on the matter. We will just move swiftly on to our third goose, driven, championed by Lawrence. Hello.
Hello. My goose is an Egyptian goose. They're an ornamental bird that were introduced to the UK because of their beautiful plumage. But my goose, Ray, believes that he is an incarnation or a cursed and trapped form of the ancient Egyptian sun god, Ra.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Amazing. And love. Okay. To caveat, I struggled to upload this fourth because I kept on laughing.
What's wrong with him, Dan?
What's
right with him?
Nate, who is this fourth goose?
So he has the breeding of, as it says in the book, he is a silly goose.
Okay.
His name is Princess Puddles. He has watched the kiddies playing around the pond, and he realizes that he's actually a unicorn princess. Hence why he has the headband with the ears and the unicorn horn.
Okay.
And yeah, that's Princess Puddles.
Okay, amazing. Princess Puddles, and there's nothing else that we can see about Princess Puddles.
He does have a knife.
Okay. Which, as we all know, is something that we in the United Kingdom we see geese with quite often.
It's a butter knife. It's not going to do much harm. He believes it'll do.
It's for
harm.
bread.
It's for bread.
So, I think with our geese introduced, we know what the donations are. I'm abundantly aware that I am only £105 away from a sad time. So yeah, if you want to if you want to inflict harm on me for the benefit of charity, we say harm, it'll be fleeting and temporary, I hope. Then please, yeah, make sure you're donating. You can find the donation link in the description below, both on YouTube and over on Twitch. But yeah, I think we just kind of dive straight in, and we open on a quaint, idyllic, like a beautifully maintained countryside scene in a quiet little spot in the Surrey countryside. As we zoom in under a gloriously baby blue sky, a dazzling summer sun, we descend towards the rolling green hills and expertly trimmed hedges and primrose bushes to a small little town that sits on the River Wey that goes through Surrey, Bitton-on-Wey. And Bitton-on-Wey is quite a small little village. The community within Bitton-on-Wey think quite a lot of themselves for good reason, for they have won Reader's Digest Small Village of the Year 3 years in a row back in the 2000s. They've been losing out to a little place up north, but who wants to go to Yorkshire? And
Ow.
and the people of Bitton-on-Wey enjoy the simpler things of life, the peace, the quiet, the serenity that comes with living in a small little idyllic British village. And today is an auspicious day for there is chatter amongst the town, excited whisperings from neighbour to neighbour over the beautifully painted white garden fences, because Bitton-on-Wey today is hosting the grand opening of their 4th Waitrose. And this is a small little. This is an express Waitrose. An express Waitrose, don't you know? It's
Open late.
It's open late. It is open until not too late, darling. We don't want to encourage antisocial behaviour. No, but this one is open until 9:30 p.m.
Nice.
Winter, spring, summer, and autumn. It's marvelous.
My
Not
goodness.
Sundays though. Closed on Sundays.
Yeah, of course.
But the town is aflutter for the excitement of this 4th Waitrose, an express Waitrose, is causing excitement in Bitton-on-Wey to reach fever pitch. And unbeknownst to the gathering villagers, as they prepare a little there's a little park next to this there's a park next to the Waitrose that's about to open. It was a little police station, but I mean, Bitton-on-Wey is such an idyllic place. There is no need for the police, so why do we need a little police station? There's a little park where they're setting up a fair, a little fete. There's going to be some buffet and some cake made by Mildred. She's donating her cake, and Gerald is donating his award-winning trifle. There's going to be some bubble and pop, and we're all going to have a marvelous time for the grand opening of this Waitrose. But little do the villagers know that chaos lurks on the horizon. As from a bush that borders on the pond in Bitton-on-Wey. It's a manufactured pond separate to the river. 4 heads, avian heads, emerge from the bushes.
I think you'll find it's a unicorn head. That's popping
Sorry.
through.
3 goose heads and a unicorn head emerge from the bushes, and with a chorus of honk,
Honked.
Oh,
all geese turn their attentions to the summertime fair that's about to happen. Between the 4 of you, you've heard, the humans are a curious breed. There's talk of cake at this fete. And if there's one thing that's even better than bread, it's cake. But we know that the humans are a fussy lot, so they will potentially do everything they can to stop you from retrieving said cake. But it is up to you to acquire the cake.
appropriate the cake.
Yes. So, as the 4 of you emerge from the manufactured pond in the small green next to the, it's probably on the other. It's just down the road on the other side of the roundabout that's in the center, a little mini roundabout in the center of the village. As the 4 of you approach, you have a How is your cake heist beginning?
Oh. I think we need to scout out the layout and where the cake actually is and how many humans are in the way, probably. Would that be... I don't think the Empress is volunteering to do this. I think she expects one of her subjects to take care of that scouting.
Well, Ray, with his keen powers of observation, may be stepping forward at this point to assess potential routes for infiltration, weaknesses in the perimeter, things like that.
Okay. So you mentioned your powers of observation. So for the viewers, this game utilizes the H.O.N.K system. So our three geese and a unicorn here have 4 stats: heroic, observant, nimble, and Khaos, which, as we all know, spell out the word honk. And you all have various stats in those abilities, and those stats will determine how many dice you roll when you're trying to achieve certain things. Currently, the town of Bitton-on-Wey is on danger level 1 because, danger level 0, beg my pardon, because nothing could possibly ruin such an auspicious day. But yes, Lawrence, as Ray peers out, what's the plan?
Yeah, I think first thing to look out for is the route. You said we're near a roundabout, so I'm expecting there's a sort of main entrance to the car park for those driving their large Range Rovers to the Waitrose 5 minutes from their house, or alternatively, there must be some kind of pedestrian entrance, or even perhaps a gap in the bushes. So I think that's what Ray is going to be looking out for here. Something a bit more conspicuous.
Okay. I mean, this sounds like you're being quite observant. So, what's your score in observant?
That is a 3.
3.
Ooh.
Okay, so in the dice roller, if you select 3d6, when you roll those, we take the highest score.
And we're rolling.
Oh.
Good start.
Okie dokie. Okay.
I mean, it totals a 6.
Yeah.
So we
That's what's important, right?
we kick things off with a 1, 2, 3, a failure. So, there, as Ray, as you kind of boldly scuttle and like wings out and they're like head down, like neck down as you make your way through the undergrowth. You begin heading to that hole in the fence to find that someone has very inconsiderately placed what appears to be like a large wooden box in front of the gap. So your sneaking approach, like through the gardens, through the hedges, that's not available to you. So that will be your consequence. We close off that avenue of access. But yes, so and it's there is quite a flurry of people. You notice that there are quite a lot of people milling about, but perhaps because of the grand spectacle of this 4th Waitrose. So yeah, there are a lot of eyes, and your discreet routes are blocked off. With that sort of like not knowledge in hand, what's the next plan, fellow geese and unicorn?
This fate is going on outside the Waitrose, presumably.
So it's in this sort of like a little green parky bit that's alongside it. The Waitrose.
That makes complete sense. Okay.
And there's like little colourful pennants hanging from lamppost to lamppost, very tastily put up by the neighbourhood watch, which includes everyone. And Yeah, there's a couple of sort of like meekly inflated balloons hanging from sort of like various fences and whatnot.
Okay.
Well, it's a park. We're allowed to be at a park.
Yeah.
We're allowed to
Totes.
be here. Like, why are we?
Yeah.
As long as
Walk up.
if we just sort of sidle in and
Yeah.
quietly, probably not many people will care that much.
Yeah. Geese are allowed at a park.
Totally. Yeah.
Or if we
So we
just
walk in.
really,
Well, we
really
could just
waddle
walk in, just proudly walk
yeah.
in.
Just waddle in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's the plan.
That's
Group
the
check
plan.
to waddle
Why,
in.
why could Greece not just walk into a park?
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
I think because I mean I would argue that the residents of Bitton-on-Wey are quite tetchy when it comes to loud, clamorous beasts such as yourself. But
But
you
we're
are
being
right.
quiet.
You are right. You're
We're swans.
Waitrose is particularly negative about geese and has a big no geese sign.
Oh no.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
Gosh.
well, I would argue that there is a group roll. So a
Yep.
collective group roll.
Yep.
So instead of rolling individually, the gaggle build one pool of dice. So I think to brazenly waltz into this pond is quite heroic. So
Okay.
each goose involved in the action adds dice equal to their score.
I wanted to pretend. I mean, I'm happy to go with heroic if people want heroic. I was tempted to argue we're actually trying to be a bit nonchalant, a bit unobtrusive. It's like these geese aren't causing trouble. They're just waddling in, just like no problem. Just slipping under the radar.
Well, I mean, it's I imagine it's the whole hidden in plain sight kind of thing, because the only other options are observant, nimble, and chaos.
Okay.
I feel
So
like
we'll go heroic then.
heroic,
All right.
boldly walking
Well, or we try and is there's tables. We try and get
Slip
in and
under a
under.
table.
Go straight in and
a
under.
table. Yes.
Because they all have
Okay.
little like gingham tablecloths on, surely.
Yes.
So
Yes, the red and white.
yeah.
thatch,
So we
yeah,
just
That sounds like
do it.
nimbleness.
Yeah,
So it
doesn't
sounds that
dart
sounds
it in.
nimble. If
Yeah.
everyone's keen, what are you? So if you all roll your nimble checks,
Yeah.
Dan, what do you do if you have a 0 in nimble?
if you have a 0 in any of your stats, you roll 2 dice and take the
take
lowest.
the lowest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right,
So,
let's roll it.
I will be looking for successes across all of your rolls.
Oh,
Three
dear.
again.
Goose
So
did it.
1.
Goose did it.
So we have 1 6 amongst you all. So 1 6 in a collective group roll is a partial success.
Sure, I'll
Okay.
take it.
So we start things off as the 4 of you, like Ray, you circle back and you kind of say, "Oh, the actual sneaky through the bushes. That's off the." So now you're gonna have to sort of like head towards like through the front entrance, but kind of be sneaky that way. As you are making your way towards the park. As you make it into the fate area, where you can see all these people kind of laying out various foods, like there's tables with drinks and various bits and bobs. The 4 of you sort of like peeking around from behind a lamp post, just 4 heads. The bodies are nowhere to be seen, but 3 goose heads and a unicorn. You first of all notice that the cake has not arrived.
No.
And the table where the cake should be, the primo location of this cake is currently vacant. You can almost see the dotted line of the outline of a cake, like flashing with it where it's missing.
Okay.
And then, as you notice this, as a complication, you hear geese, and as you look, Mabel, the maker of some of the other cakes, sees you, and we Edgar Wright style camera zoom in on the little badge that she's got on the lapel of her tweed coat, that's got a goose head with a line through it.
Oh, what's that, Mabel? That goose-hating Mabel.
So, I will. So you are in the area. But your complications are you've been spotted, and Mabel will raise the danger level.
Oh no!
So you are now danger level 1.
That's fine.
I'm.
They've noticed us. That's fine.
So,
Yes,
so no
danger
cake
level
has
is
been
now
seen.
curious.
So no cake has been seen whatsoever.
Not yet.
Not
yet.
the cake we were
Okay.
after.
Princess Puddles, because he's seen parties like this before, and he knows that the cake doesn't necessarily come out until people start singing like a particular song.
Okay.
So he's gonna, and also even with Mabel with her little goose badge on saying no geese, that doesn't require anything because he's a unicorn. So he's gonna come out of the sheets, out of the table, and stand right in the middle and try and get everyone to start singing happy birthday.
Oh, wow.
So that the cake comes out.
Okay. Okay. So you want to sing? What ability are you planning on using in this?
Can I use chaos for this?
Pretty chaotic.
Okay. Now, I would like to reaffirm that everyone is a goose and or a unicorn.
Yeah.
So, Nate, I would need you to demonstrate to me what your happy birthday sounds like.
Would it be before or after I've done the roll that you want me to do happy birthday?
Before.
I'm going to say before.
Okay.
Because I genuinely don't think what this sounds like will happen all that
Okay.
much.
He's gonna like proper stride out into the middle of sort of like a group of humans to see if he can get the humans to sort of join in with him as well. And he's just gonna go, ha 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 ha.
No, keep going.
That's it.
That was it. That's the song.
Oh, happy birthday.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. Please roll me a chaos roll.
Is it inspiration worthy, Dan? Since
So-
Nate acted out the goose honking song.
I would like to say that all of my stats are in honk and in chaos. So
Yeah.
Chaos.
that's
Get
4
4.
dice.
4 dice. Okay.
There's 2 sixes in
2
there.
sixes in there.
Way!
Okay. So you hear you start like the how are the other geese reacting?
I think Goose Willis has just got his head just out, just watching from underneath the gingham table that he's under, just observing, not joining in. Definitely not joining in.
Empress?
I think she probably is thinking she could have done better. Yeah, that's probably what the Empress is thinking. She's still shaking her little goosey head. No.
Okay. Ray?
Ray is kind of staying back and observing also, and feeling kind of sorry for Princess Puddles, which is the main emotion that stops us from kicking him out of our group.
He's like
Pity.
he's like the little brother that you have to bring along with you. Who just
Yeah.
from Princess Puddles.
Aw.
Can't leave him home.
Okay. So Nate, Princess Puddles has rolled 2 6s, which is not only a success, but it is also good luck.
Ooh.
Oh,
So you gain all the benefits of a success, plus something else goes right for them. An additional payoff, or maybe some small ongoing benefit. So, as you honk happy birthday, you notice that, like, the social contract that is to smother your sort of like the awkwardness of also singing happy birthday to strangers in public, like that, smothering that discomfort is something that the people of Bitton-on-Wey are very, very good at. And before long, you notice that the park is filled. There's dozens of villagers that appear almost out of nowhere as your eyes are clenched and you're honking at your, the top of your heart out. And there's a very kind of, I mean, they're very eager, but it's still a group public happy birthday, so it still sounds a bit. Sarah. And you notice that all of the villagers have almost started sort of like they're just lost in the ritual of the happy birthday. I mean, it isn't actually anyone's birthday unless we're counting.
It's Waitrose's birthday.
Waitrose's first 0th birthday.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the villagers are sort of like. So you succeed. The villagers are sort of like distracted now for a little while as the dirge of happy birthday begins repeating, and it sounds like a record that's been slowed, or like a tape player that's running out of batteries as it goes on and on and on. And then people are sort of like trying to drop out and then going, oh, everyone's still going, I'll come back in. So it's all just sort of like morphing into this musical maelstrom. Okay, so Nate, you have successfully, for all intents and purposes, successfully hypnotized the people of Bitton-on-Wey. You're hoping to get the cake out. The cake. What can I do to stop this from immediately ending?
Well, it's no one's birthday, so they're not bringing out a birthday cake.
That's true. That is true. The honking. The cake is rolled out.
Ooh.
Like the side entrance to Waitrose, because this was baked in the in-store bakery of Waitrose, obviously.
Nice.
The side door opens, and you watch as a chronically underpaid. Oh no, Waitrose staff are actually kind of better paid than others. Yeah, they've got stocks. Okay, so yeah, a Waitrose employee rolls out a cart, and it's got the most luxurious looking cake on it that you've ever seen. And the cake is kind of lifted from this trolley tray onto the table in the middle of the green at the fete. And Princess Puddles, you look upon the majesty of this cake. It dawns on you that you can also see your reflection as you realize that the cake is currently encased in a heavy glass decorative case.
Oh, that's bad. Oh,
and
shame.
Inexplicably, there is a large padlock hanging from the glass case.
Of course.
Keeping the case sealed.
This is an award-winning
That's
cake.
company standard.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you can still sell past the sell-by date if you can prove that it's sealed. So that's Waitrose policy, obviously. So yes, the cake has arrived. You can see the prize, but it seems it is under firm lock and key.
Oh.
So as you will notice this, other geese, what's the next stage of the plan?
You know what we've got to do.
We
You
need
know what we've got to do.
Need that key.
We need that key, and I'm willing to run interference so that someone can sneak and get it.
We need to work out where the key is.
Oh,
Who
yes.
would have the key?
Does anyone
Ray?
want to chuck me a quick observation?
Ray, find the key.
Yeah, I'll do. I'll use my eagle eye perk if I can.
Yes.
Which
What does your eagle eye perk do?
let me consult the exact wording. Add +1 die to observation rolls to find something that might be nearby.
Like a key.
+1 dice. Okay. You will get +1 dice on this. Going back to what you were saying earlier, Julia. I think that we can award Nate an inspiration.
Yay!
So Nate, you get a +1 dice on your next dice roll.
Yay.
Okay, so Lawrence, if you roll me an observant check as these 3 geese begin scheming.
We have a 6.
We have a 6. Okay, very good. So as the 3 of you appearing from behind this lamppost, like totem pole styly, you see your avian eyes are immediately attracted to the light reflecting and the jingle of a ornate looking gold key that hangs from the belt of the Waitrose worker that just rolled the cake out. And then you watch as that Waitrose worker walks back through the door into the Waitrose, and it boom slams with a heavy thud.
You know where we're going now.
Yeah. I hope they've got air vents.
Amazing.
So, so you know that the key for your cake is inside the Waitrose. Who's stepping up to the plate next?
Oh,
I think you know what I think that the Empress is going to approach the doors of the Waitrose and make a spectacle of herself in order to create the conditions for another goose to slip in.
Run in.
Does that sound reasonable?
Okay.
And I think I'm relying on my nimbleness to get away from anyone who tries to shoo me, to sort of run rings around them and sort of keep the deception going. That's my pitch for this role.
Okay.
So I just sort of walk forward with my wings out and go, yes, you may all worship me, the Empress is here. But of course it just comes out as
Wings flapping.
Flapping.
Okay.
Yeah. Making
Amazing.
a spectacle of myself and making sure I don't get caught by anyone trying to shoo me.
Goose Willis is going to try and hide just on the other side of the doorway in the hopes that if someone comes out, he can get in and or bite the person that comes out. We'll see what he feels like.
Okay. So first off, we need. So there's multiple honks. As the Empress starts creating a distraction. We'll start with Goose Willis. What ability are you using to infiltrate? Are you waiting for a person, or are you?
I'm hoping that someone's going to come out to see.
Yes,
the Empress.
Yeah, so someone definitely does. Yep.
So brilliant. I will use. See, I could use Heroism, which is my better one.
Because you're doing a foolhardy thing for the flock, aren't you?
Yeah, but that might involve contact with the person.
Yeah.
But, you got to break a couple of eggs to make an omelette, so...
Got to break a couple of legs.
So, yeah, I think Bruce will bite the sort of back hamstring of whatever Waitrose worker comes out.
Okay. Hilariously, there are rules for combat in this game.
Yeah.
Oh, would you look at that? Waitrose has donated £5. So the next success requires a reroll. Okay. So combat. This is there is a slightly different results table. So Livy, please roll me a so is it a full frontal peck? You're attempting to duck between a villager's legs for a back strike, flinging another goose at the villager at frightening speeds, and we can't think of an observant attack, but never say never.
Yeah, it's going to be a heroic. It's full frontal.
Full frontal. Okay.
Goose Willis has no qualms about.
Okay. Roll
fighting a
me
man.
a heroic attack.
Can I argue
Hmm.
for Goose in the China Shop, which is I get oh no, wait, no, it's Chaos. Never mind. No. We're just gonna do 3 heroic. It's all good. It's all good. Come on.
Ooh.
Okay, so you get a 6, but I will ask you to roll those 3 dice again because someone paid for a reroll success.
Waitrose had it in for us.
Waitrose. Waitrose does not want you
Who
to
wouldn't want us to bite a man?
Waitrose.
Waitrose. They'd have to pay that staff sick leave. Oh.
Come on. Just okay.
one
You'll be
little
all right.
nibble. 5.
Okay.
5. Okay, so a peck for a peck. Your attack intimidates the locals, and you get the upper hand.
Hey.
Or the villager gets away. Pride and possibly fingertips a little damaged. Okay, so as you, what does this look like, Livy? Paint me a picture.
So
With
Kevin
honks.
Kevin comes out,
Yeah.
the Waitrose worker, just like in a kind of what the bloody hell is going on here? Is this just like beautiful goose is doing a beautiful dance?
Yes.
And just from his corner of his eye, he just catches the shadow of a goose, and then before he knows it, Goose Willis just runs, just straight full frontal, just straight into him. The war cry of
Peck him right between the legs.
and right on the inner thigh.
Ooh.
Right on the other thigh.
Ooh.
And a sort of double down. Like,
Okay. So you strike at the exact
A
pressure
viper.
point. Yes. And Kevin
Get the femoral artery.
throws his hands up. And as you pinch on the vein, it causes a sudden shortage of blood to the brain, and Kevin just sort of like flounders and like thrashes around. I suppose it doesn't actually kill him, does it? No, it intimidates the locals.
you never know.
I mean, it would be pretty intimidating to the locals if Kevin died of a goose attack in front of Waitrose.
So the people gathered for the fete, like the people singing "Happy Birthday" just next door. They are like their attentions are snapped back to the present at the blood-curdling screams from Kevin as this poor boy fights for his life, fights for his very survival against this goose in a dirty white
tank
vest
Yeah.
and
It's got gun holsters.
Gun holster.
Already
as
covered in
you-
blood.
As you nip and sort of like batter with your wings, Kevin like falls to the floor and then like desperately sort of like scrabbles away before
I drag him back.
the staff inside the Waitrose, the last thing they see of Kevin is him sort of like being dragged along the floor out of the front door, and then as he and he's gone, and like a puff of white goose feathers. To give way.
Don't look at them, look at
To
me!
give way to this Empress Swan just sort of like flouncing.
Don't worry about that!
So at that point, Gary, the security guard, noticing that Kevin is a goner, like everyone is heavily intimidated. We are now up to danger level 2, which
That's
is
fair.
nuisance.
Yeah.
What?
You are now nuisances.
We would never.
So villagers will now view you with caution. You may approach them, but most will keep their distance, lest they suffer
Wow.
the same fate as poor Kevin. But yes, Julia, your goose now needs to make her getaway because
Yes.
Gary, the security guard at Waitrose.
May I have a bonus die because I've got the top billing perk, so I get a bonus die whenever I make myself the centre of attention.
You absolutely can.
Oh, cheers. Okay, let's go. Oh, that was 4. My highest was a 4.
Okay, highest is a.
Hands off me, you buffoon! Get off me! Ah, this is outrageous.
which translates to. Okay, so your action succeeds, albeit with drawbacks.
Yeah.
So Gary rushes you with a speed that Gary's bulk, a speed belied by Gary's bulk, and he grabs you around the waist, just underneath your wings, and as he lifts you up, and you begin honking and just buffeting the sides of his head, and he's just no, and his toupee starts flapping.
Princess Puddles, help me!
So you have successfully kind of gained the attention. You do kind of get away because it is a success.
I sort of managed to flap away, but he's got a few of my feathers in his hands.
Yes. So Gary is now on the prowl. Gary, you managed to between the wing slaps and the slapping him in the face with your feet as he lifts you up. he lets you go handfuls of white down in his hands as you flutter back to the ground and make a dash for it. So Gary is now in active pursuit. Gary is an active combatant, if you will. Lawrence, sounds like Ray needs to Ray actually needs sorry, begging pardon. Princess Puddles. What are you doing? The people are sort of looking at the commotion at the front of the Waitrose, and you hear murmuring, and you hear one villager say, "Blasted geese! I'd rather be here with this unicorn than over there with those foul beasts." The RSPCV has donated £10. Oh no! We have a reroll. We have a failure reroll. Thank you, RSPCV. RSPB.
To that person who said, I feel like I want to use this now, just in case I don't get another chance to use it. I would like to use my special ability if I can.
Okay, and what is your special ability, Nate?
My special ability is We Are the People, and it means I can have a short conversation with one human.
You're burning your conversation now.
Yeah. Just in case. You've only got half an hour left.
Okay, no, I think it's got 45 minutes.
And it was that person who said, I'd rather spend this time with this unicorn.
Amazing. Okay, so what conversation are you having?
I like to think that Princess Puddles has a knife in his mouth, a little butter knife, so he can't actually say anything. So I like to kind of think that this is actually more telepathically to this human.
That would make sense because geese don't have vocal cord range for human speech anyway.
Unicorns can speak telepathically.
Yes.
Okay,
you just stare into his eyes and
so with Princess Puddle's beautiful blue eyes, he's gonna, as soon as he hears unicorn, he's gonna stare at that villager and just says,
what does he say, Nate?
He just says, "Citizen, the cake must be brought out now. Give us access to the cake."
That's horrifying.
Okay. What ability are you using?
That's free. I can just do that.
That is the hidden ability.
Because
that's a one-time.
I can only use it once, but that is the special
It
ability.
works
without any roll.
Oh, the ability just works, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, but I can only use it once.
So one off.
Okay, so you say telepathic conversation. What you mean is mind control.
Yeah, kind of.
No. It's a conversation. I've got mind control, so just doing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just a conversation.
That's later.
What? So what? Basically, what I'm thinking is, where is it? Where is We the People? Because We the People lets you have the conversation, which now means that the person will know what you're saying.
Yes.
But I would argue then that just opens up the opportunity to directly interact with them.
Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah.
So, okay, I would argue. I mean, I'm going to say it's a chaos roll, which you have an additional dice to because you're inspired. So it's like a 5 dice roll. Just on the off chance that this villager does not react well to the unicorn in front of
It's
them.
a special ability, so I
Oh,
don't
is
need
it?
to roll.
You can have the conversation,
I'll have a
but
conversation.
how they react.
Yeah,
how they react is different.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how persuasive you are.
Yeah. So,
Let me have a conversation with the villager, Dan.
okay. Panic.
If you wish to bring calm back to this festivities, bring out the cake.
The sunlight
really
catches
calm.
the butter knife, intimidating.
That gives me an extra die if I use the intimidation of the
Oh,
knife.
yeah.
It's a 6 die.
6 dice.
Okay, so if you're intimidating the person, with
Yeah,
your
sure.
butter
Why
knife,
not? No.
then sure. We'll call that a chaos because no one expects a goose to telepathically talk to you. So with your inspiration, it's a 6 dice roll. And then, like, if you roll a 6, then it's all going to go fine. But if you don't roll it, like, if you...
Something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen.
Oh, dear.
He's not the smartest.
It's not the end of the world, is it?
Okay, a 4. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. You succeed. The one villager looks to you and...
Locks eyes across the fate.
Looks at you and... I know I mentioned summer. I mean, arguably in Bitton, every sunny day is summer.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that it's actually, much like we are right now, we're actually remarkably close to Easter. And this villager looks upon you, and in this moment, it means nothing to you, but perhaps it does to us, but you notice the glimmer of what appears to be a little golden cross necklace that hangs around her neck. And as she looks upon the risen Lord in front of her, that, you know, the holy books foretold of this day around Easter, when you're a bit early, but you know we'll run with it. And she looks upon your majesty, like there are all these people who are looking over at the commotion, and then they've just watched this Emperor Goose kind of like flap out the hands of Gary the security guard, and like as they turn their attentions back to begin their conspiratorial wittering that like posh people do, they all notice this one villager staring at you, and this villager is under your thrall, mate. You have successfully done that. It's when another villager, there's a silence that's kind of spreads through the crowd, and then one of them goes, "He's got a knife!" An absolute bedlam erupts out. You're absolutely right. It's 25, so I've got just over half an hour. I'm going to raise the danger level up to pest.
Yes.
As like people scatter in various directions, apart from your one villager that believes you are the risen Lord, as they flee the horrifying sight of the butter knife glinting in the British summer sun.
Very good.
Very, very good. And yeah, this fellow, this lady that you've mind controlled with your telepathy, she's sort of like, "Yeah, yes," she says as she looks to you, and she says it quite like, well, you see her strain a little, almost as like she's trying to talk back to you with her mind. But instead she just says yes quietly. And she opens the side door to the Waitrose that the staff member had come through and gone back through originally. So quick, this way, she says. Fundamentally, Dorothy here will be like a minion of yours to use temporarily. Marvelous. Who's next?
Did we just go in the side door?
No, you lot are in the front entrance, but Nate's in the
I
Princess
thought we were
Puddles is
going in the back entrance.
I
To
thought Goose
follow the-
Willis has slipped through.
Yeah, I slipped through the back entrance.
Oh, I thought you were going through the front.
No,
through-
we were
across the shop
following the
floor.
key.
Oh, right. Okay. In which case, Goose Willis, you're in the side entrance, and then the second side entrance door opens, and Princess Puddles comes through. So both of you are in the in the back. So actually, Goose Willis, you spy Princess Puddles come through the side entrance as you peer down through the vents.
Yeah,
the slats in the air conditioning vents overhead.
I've done a proper job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ray, the Empress is leading the security guard away. It appears that Goose Willis and Princess Puddles have made it into the back area. Where are you going?
It's a good question. I'm going to be looking for another way in. Perhaps something like a window that was left open, or something like that. Like trying to look for something that's been overlooked by other people.
Okay, that sounds like another observant roll.
Yeah.
And we have a reroll failure in the kitty.
Ooh,
nice.
good.
Okay, I've got a 4 is my highest.
Okay, that is a mixed success.
Yeah.
So, you do find a window near the tills that is open. You are able to scramble up and sort of like, as you begin to enter into, climb through the window, one of your feet, as you're slapping around trying to get in without actual hands, one of your webbed feet kicks the lever that's holding the window open, and with a honk, the window sort of like slams down on your back, and half of you is inside, half of you is outside. And currently no one has noticed you yet because they're looking at the commotion of the scream. Everyone's screaming and running in different directions. But yeah, you're literally halfway in. And you're sort of looking over the shop floor, and through there's a back door, there's a door to the back rooms, and it's got one of those those long thin glass window panes with the security meshing through it, and through it you can see what looks like a mesmerized frumpy old villager following behind what appears to be Princess Puddles.
Yep.
Yes, you are sort of wedged halfway in, halfway out. So you're almost kind of getting there. We'll switch over to Empress real quick. So currently you're being chased by Gary.
I would very much like to shake Gary with my nimbleness, please, so that I can then make my way unnoticed into the Waitrose to join my friends, my colleagues, my minions, my subjects.
Roll me a nimble check.
And I'm not the center of attention. I'm trying to be the opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's still only a 4.
Ryan Gosling has donated £10. So we have another failure reroll.
Thank you.
Okay, so we need to if you need to start rolling some 1s, 2s, and 3s.
Sorry.
So you have rolled a mixed success.
Yes.
So you do successfully manage to shake Gary.
Yeah.
Gary,
I use various tables and bushes and stuff, and he loses track of me.
Absolutely, and he ends up having to take a seat on the bench outside the parish church, just to get a breather, because it's been a while since he's done any sort of physical exercise. But as Gary gets a breather, and takes a few puffs on his vape, you are able to begin scuttling back. Gary is no longer on directly on the hunt. If this were Metal Gear Solid, we've gone from sort of red warning to yellow warning. Yep. So Gary is now in patrol mode.
Sure.
So he is a lingering threat, but he's no longer actively after you.
Good luck, Gary.
Also, we're at £420.
Ooh, nice.
£80 away from hot sauce.
Yay!
So are you heading back to
So
Waitrose?
then I'm trying to get into the Waitrose now to rejoin the group, the flock.
Okay. Well, tell you what. Are you heading in through the automatic sliding doors?
Yes.
Onto shop floor. Okay.
Yes.
As you enter into shop floor, Lawrence, please describe to me the noises you're making to draw the attention of the Empress as she walks onto shop floor.
I'm trying not to panic, but I am inside. But so it's kind of a
Yep.
So, Empress, you notice that your minion, Ray, is currently trapped in a partly opened window.
Oh no.
Front half in, back half out. You know that perhaps you might need to help Ray.
How did you manage that, Ray? What have you done?
This confounded device has trapped me. I've been outsmarted. Help me, Empress.
Must be more careful, Ray. Is there no one else who can help you right now? Is one of the others, Puddles or
Perhaps
Bruce
I
Willis,
could
or...
call upon the powers of old.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd love to see that. Go on then.
Oh, really? You're actually not going to help me?
I was quite looking forward to your bit of divine intervention, but all right. It shall have to be imperial intervention instead. And she will attempt to. What's a goose going to do with another goose who's trapped in a window? Like, just like
It's the age-old question, really, isn't it? What is it used to do?
grabs you by the wing with her beak and yanks as you try to
You
get
could sort
free.
of flap
Around the neck, behind the head.
Are we doing a little mini group
against the
group
window.
check, a group heroism or something?
I think between the two of you, yes. I think I will.
Okay.
I will ask for that.
Heroism. No.
Because it's sort of brawny, isn't it? It's
Well,
trying
you
to...
tell me
We're trying to
which
open
ability to use. I'm imagining it's going to be somewhere between heroic or nimble.
I'll use nimble. I'll use nimble for sure.
So, you've got to decide whether you're using like strength and prowess to pull Ray free, or if you're trying to like.
I'm trying to sort of wheedle him cleverly, so instead of brute force him.
Just sort of butter him up on the sides. Just get some Marge and just kind of.
You can slather Lawrence. Lawrence. Oh my god! You can slather Lawrence up. Slather Ray up with some goose fat.
Yeah.
That'd be quite. I mean, that's what it's for, right?
That's kind of dark, Dan.
Yeah.
But I mean, why would they call it goose
use
fat if it's not for geese?
Fat, We're not doing that. I'm doing it. And
what about the natural oils that geese secrete onto
the
their feathers?
natural
Very
oils,
greasy.
exactly. Greasy creatures.
Tightness.
So I'm doing nimbleness.
Okay.
And what are you doing?
So Ray, you
Ray?
I think I'll be using nimbleness to try and
Okay.
figure out now.
Very well.
Make your way out.
I've got a 6.
I've got a 3.
I got a 6 though.
So a group roll, we needed 2 6s for success, but 1 6 is still a mixed success.
The book does suggest that if you've got a very small group roll, you add in 1 or 2 dice to help out the group effort.
I see.
It is
Because like less than 4, you add 1 in.
The help. Okay, let's add in 2 more for the 2 that aren't present.
Way.
The help is no help at all.
It was worth a try.
Okay, no, 1 6 is a partial, so that is fine. That said, Ray, we have 2 reroll failures in the bank, so you can reroll yours.
Oh,
yes.
Done,
Let's
reroll.
Let's do it.
That's a 4.
Okay, we're getting there, and the second reroll will be for the help.
Hey!
We got the 6. Okay, the 2 rerolls are done and dusted.
Incredible.
So, between there is some intense secretion and undulating, and eventually with a Ray, you are free. You slide in.
Did I lay an egg as well?
Yes, you manage to squeeze your way in through the window. The window slams behind you, trapping a couple of your tail feathers, which come out with a bit of a jolt. But the two of you are behind the tills in this Waitrose shop floor. And like I say, through the back door, you can see Princess Puddles with, what was her name? Dorothy. With Dorothy.
Nice.
But actually, whilst we will switch back to Livy, so peering down through the grates in the air vents, what's your plan, Goose Willis?
Where does my beak go?
Through the
vent.
Yeah.
Well, Goose Willis is looking for his target to acquire these keys. So we're going for a drop down. Going to go for an impact as they walk underneath the vent. Is what I would imagine Goose Willis would want to do.
Okay. So are you dropping down on Princess Puddle and?
Well, I could ambush them, but I was hoping to ambush the guy with the keys, but I could.
Well, okay, you have a choice. From your position in the air vents, you can hear reverberating down the air vents from the shop floor. You can hear the squawks of Empress and Ray. So you could do something to sort of like, you can shuffle along to kind of help them. Alternatively, you could lie in wait. So it looks like the employee that rolled out the cake, because he's heard the commotion, he's locked himself in the manager's office. So you could drop into the manager's office to tangle with the key holder.
100%.
Or you can drop down, do something to help to help Princess Puddles and Dorothy. So you have the option of helping, or you can launch a surprise attack on the manager.
I really want to do a surprise attack.
Yes, you should.
I really want to do a surprise attack.
Nice.
He's Bruce Willis is Bruce Goose. Yeah. There ain't no Bruces around here.
Who's Bruce?
Who's Bruce? Goose Willis is shuffling along this air vent, as stealthy as a goose could be. And he sees
Little wet slaps.
Yeah. And he gets to the correct vent. He's actually got the maps to the Waitrose. He's already looked at the floor plan, obviously, at home. So
By the pond.
so he's shuffling along and he finds the vent. It's handily just above the desk and he's gonna open that vent and he's gonna launch dive bomb him straight on the head.
Okay.
Beak first.
Beak first.
This sounds like another heroic combat. Okay, roll me a heroic.
5.
Five.
Blast!
A 5. Okay, so Gary has donated £40,
Oh, not Gary.
which means a plot twist.
Yay!
Hey!
So,
Incredible.
Goose Willis, as you come flying out of the air vent, peck for a peck, your attack intimidates the locals and you get the upper hand. So, as you burst out of the air vent, what was your war cry?
Yippee-ki-yay, mother clucker. But in goose.
Okay, and this manager sort of like looks up and like the first thing that happens is your beak boom hits him square between the eyes, and in a flurry of flapping wings, slapping feet, and like bill nips, the manager is utterly incapacitated by your vicious attack. You gain the upper hand. It's even from where you are, it sounds horrendous. Like Princess Puddles, like you can hear the commotion, you can see the feathers, you can see the bits of clothing.
A hand slapping onto the window and then
Yes. So I'm raising the danger level to infamous.
nobody saw us. It's
I mean, the guy you're killing at the moment did.
What is he tweeting at the same time? Like, oh, bloody geese.
So, unbeknownst to you, there is a security camera in the corner of the manager's office that is being watched by all of the neighborhood watch. And
The whole village.
The whole village has gets an alert on their phones.
Oh no!
So
there's a widescreen, big widescreen TV outside with all the security cameras in Waitrose.
Yes. A beacon is lit to summon the aid of the other 3 Waitrose. I'm desperately trying to find the plot twists. Where are the plot twists?
They are in the what?
There we are. Okay, found it. So I'm going to roll a d6, and we'll find out what our plot twist is as we kick into our third act. A 1.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay. So there's a calamitous chorus of panic and angered voices as the villagers of Bitton-on-Wey react to this geese incursion. We'll switch over to Princess Puddle. You can hear all the villagers getting really, really angry about all these geese that are sort of flapping around. You know that Goose Willis is currently trapped in the office. How are you helping to extract Goose from the manager's office?
We're saying that the door is locked, yeah?
So the door is locked. It's, again, one of those doors with the long, narrow window panes.
Okay.
That's, a person couldn't fit through, but a goose might.
Okay, then. I was actually going to use... I was going to see if I could sort of nudge Dorothy up towards the lock and then sort of just climb on her back. She's only small, but she's bigger than me. And try and use my knife to sort of jimmy the door open.
The knife!
Okay. I would argue... I mean, if you're picklocking with your butter knife, I think that's got to be a nimble.
Well, I get a 1 dice with my knife if I'm using my knife.
Yeah.
So that's 1 dice.
A 1 dice. Okay.
Have you used your inspiration yet?
I've used it. I used it on that 6 dice roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Rolling for lockpicking. It's a 3.
Oh dear. Have we got another reroll failure in the tank?
We
already used
do
it.
not. We've chewed those up.
Shame.
Okay, so as you attempt to pick the lock, it doesn't go quite to plan. You're picking away, and while you're concentrating so hard on jamming this butter knife into a very delicate lock,
I'm casting magic on the lock. That's what I'm doing.
Of course.
Unicorn magic.
Because I'm a princess unicorn.
You are a princess unicorn. In which case, if we lean back on our D&D tropes, as your concentration moves from your control over Dorothy to using pick lock, you hear... Where am I? What's happening? Oh! I'm in the back halls of Waitrose. Oh, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not a staff member. Oh no! What will the people think? And then Dorothy stops, and then she just sort of senses that she's bent over at the waist, and her head slowly cranes to see you leaning over with a butter knife jammed in the lock of the manager's office. And as she screams, as she's close enough, she realizes she sees past the headband and then sees 2 piercing blue eyes.
Oh no.
Almost, she sees exactly what your portrait shows.
That's a shame.
And she lets out this blood-curdling scream, and like she sort of like flings you off. She pulls herself away. Your butter knife is still jammed in the lock. I'll let you decide if you're holding on to the knife for dear life or not. And she goes barreling out of the fire exit door that the manager came through earlier, back into the green. And as she does, she stops for a moment, and like she's covering over whatever she's seen that's stopped her in her tracks. And then as she just and like slaps a hand to her forehead and faints, as posh people in villages do, as she slumps to the ground, you see that the glass case with the cake in it is currently surrounded by a number of straps, and there is a loud noise coming from outside. And from your position, Princess Puddles, it looks like the cake is about to be winched away by a helicopter.
What?
And your attention homes in on a rival gang of geese.
No!
Oh, no. Those bastards.
What, are they flying the helicopter?
Why didn't we do that?
I know! Oh, gosh.
They're always
Okay.
one step ahead of us.
We didn't realise RAF Bitton-on-Wey was right next door.
So we are in we're in the closing minutes of our action thriller. So you Princess Puddles, you're kind of dangling. Empress and Ray, what are you doing? You can hear the sound of this helicopter, and like the people are making a lot of commotion, and it seems like actually they're not making all that commotion about you lot. They're making commotion about the army Chinook that's just flown overhead, rattled down, gathered up the cake, and it appears to be crewed by geese.
Oh no!
What's your plan?
I think it's time for Empress mind control, and I'm going to find Gary.
Okay.
I'm going to find Gary. I'm going to hope that. Well, no, actually, I just thought of something even better, but I would need Goose for it. So there's like a rope or something that is with the grappler that's got.
It's leather straps or like a big like fairground claw.
Would a single bullet?
Yes, I think it would.
Would a single bullet fray the rope enough to let the cake go?
Okay.
I reckon I need to alert Goose Willis to this situation and see if he's available.
Well, I've got the key. I'm just locked in the office. But then again,
right?
Does the key? Is it a jack?
Can you shoot
the
lock?
Keys?
Can you?
I only have one gun, one bullet.
Yeah. But I can get Gary to shoot the. Because you.
Why has Gary got a gun?
Well, he's
He's a security guard at Waitrose.
It's the end of the game, Dan.
He's got a gun.
Is there a window? Is there a window in
Can I-
the
Manager's
manager's
office? Or is there a key on the key ring that opens up the manager's lock?
That would make
Assumedly.
sense.
Lawrence, what are you thinking?
Can I suggest an alternative? Is the grappling hook rope flammable?
Oh, yes.
It can and should be all of these things.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I'm looking through the window I messily came in through, and the smears of goose grease on the window form some kind of what appears to me to be some kind of hieroglyph, and I feel the powers of ancient Egypt rushing through my veins, and I call upon the ancient power of the sun, and I will use my hidden ability of pyromaniac. The sunlight glints in my eyes, the pupils glaze over, just little balls of furnaces, and I clock the rope through that window and call upon my primal powers.
Okay, so you create a small fire, small at first, anyway. Okay, so you focus, and a little spark ignites, and it lights one of the we're talking like proper Acme grade, like thick wound rope type things that are kind of reaching around. But yeah, one of the ropes ignites. It begins burning. Certainly, it's going to detach from this helicopter at some point. You realize, however, that the ropes are thick enough that it will take a while to burn through, and perhaps the problem is if the thing's too high, then the cake will be destroyed upon impact with the ground. So, like, how do you slow the descent of the cake? How do you expedite the rate of the burn? But yes, certainly that cake is detaching from the helicopter at a very dramatic point in the very near future.
I'm going to be honest, Dan. I don't think I'm too worried if the cake ends up in pieces, entirely
We ain't
covering
fussy.
Sure.
the local area.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of slices. I can't pick them up with my wings.
That's fair. That is fair. Okay. Okay. So certainly it's on fire. And also potentially the fire's going to go up the rope and set the helicopter on fire as well. So that's going to happen at some point soon. So helicopter's on fire. What's Julia? What's Empress doing to help?
I feel as if I feel I was gonna save my my mind control for Gary. Yes. Maybe to sort of keep order, essentially, kind of with my animal magnetism hidden ability, convince him to keep the other villagers off us while we deal with this cake and helicopter situation.
He does crowd control.
He does crowd control on my behalf because I am such a persuasive, beautiful empress.
Okay. So you've got the telepathic ability, right?
I've got animal magnetism. You compel someone nearby to perform a simple action.
Okay. Okay, so if you're approaching Gary, because Gary's been drawn by the sound of the army Chinook overhead, and the simple action being, do your job, Gary.
Do your job, Gary.
Do your damn job, Gary. So as you look at Gary and you tell him to sort of like clear the streets fundamentally, Gary's like eyes start spiraling along with yours. As he does what any good citizen does, and he begins like clearing the street. So the area around the fete with all the rest of the cakes is now clear of people, giving you all an arena to operate in, like a theatre to operate in. Between Goose and Puddles, Goose, you're still trapped in. You asked about a window.
Or if I've got a key to get out of the management. I'm in the inside, so do I have the keys?
I reckon you do. But here's the thing, to a Goose, I reckon all keys look the same. So I would ask for an observant.
Oh, I don't have any observant.
Okay.
Just go for it.
You could instead headbutt your way through the window.
Yeah.
Like the door window, yeah. Okay. Fine.
Sorry, is that the door window with the lattice? Like steel mesh through it.
Goose Willis has a really hard head.
Sure. Okay. Yes, please roll. Are you headbutting your way to victory?
Yeah, I'm headbutting my way to victory.
Okay. Please roll me a honk. Please roll me a heroic.
Honk. 5's all right.
Okay, a success.
I've got the keys in my mouth.
Okay, so you use the key to like break through and then hack through the steel mesh with this soft squidgy Allen key that you've retrieved from the manager's belt. Your drawback is that you will take harm as you have to walk barefoot over the broken glass.
On my feetsies.
Yes.
I mean, that's very Goose Willis.
Yes.
To be fair.
Very, very Goose Willis. So you are free, but your tootsies hurt.
Oh.
Puddles.
Puddles.
You watch as the helicopter crewed by this rival gang of geese begins to lift off. Like from here, you can see that they've painted the Chinook white to look like a goose as well.
Has it got a little yellow front?
Yellow front and then two black dots on the windscreen.
Yeah. The Princess Puddles, does it just look like a giant goose? Because Princess Puddles
alarmingly like a giant goose.
It is a giant goose.
Okay, so yeah, but is there anything you're doing, Princess Puddles, as we hurtle towards this finale?
So all of the villagers have cleared out of the way because of Gary. We've
Good
got
old Gary.
Goose Willis getting out of the door.
The rope holding the cake to the helicopter is burning, but slowly. Can you do something chaotic right now, Princess Puddles?
Please.
What chaotics?
Like launch yourself at the burning rope or something to like bite it all the way through. It's pretty chaotic.
That is pretty chaotic. Yeah, I guess to sort of save the cake from smashing, to sort of Princess Puddles is going to launch himself at the cake and start sort of nibbling away at the rope to sort of expedite the.
Okay,
with just the fire going
Yeah. Okay, throwing all caution to the wind. Please roll me a chaos roll.
That is 4 dice.
Oh,
Hey!
Double
crit!
Okay, you chew away and a triple crit. Oh my goodness! So you successfully nibble through the ropes. You know what? I think in this moment, perhaps that's all we need. So Goose Willis, you run out. Well, everyone sort of runs out the Waitrose, just in time to see Princess Puddles launch himself towards this escaping glass case with a really nice looking cake in. And as you savage these ropes, the flames are sort of like flickering out, and you notice, like in your flurry of violence, Princess Puddles, there is a point where you cannot tell the difference between rope, between glass, and between Chinook fuel tank. And as you tear through the rope, the glass case falls back to earth and boom, like lands in the middle of the green. The glass smashes, and because you've rolled a 666, the cake is beautifully arrayed in like a spread, trough styly, for the four of you to get involved in. That said, everything is still on fire.
Yeah.
And Goose Willis, you notice as this like Chinook is beginning to escape, and you can see sort of like the flames licking up the rope that's still attached to it. You do notice that there is like this perfect stream, constant stream of fuel that runs from the side of the Chinook fuel tank all the way along the floor right to your feet. Much like a certain action hero saw at the end of his second outing on an airfield.
Yeah.
Airfield runway. What do you do?
I've got one bullet. So, as Goose Willis just opens up his wing, and underneath you see a tiny gun holster, and within that tiny gun holster, it's a tiny gun. Can I shoot? How far away is the fuel canister? Can I just shoot it from here?
No, so there is a
is there a line
perfect
of
stream of fuel that connects the ground all the way up. Like, physics be damned, all the way up to the side of the Chinook.
Fab. I would like to shoot that, please, and cause an explosion.
Okay. So as you fire your gun at the start of the stream of jet fuel along the floor, it sparks, it flies along the fuel, it tracks up the fuel that's kind of suspended in midair up to the side of the Chinook, and as as Princess Puddles like flaps away triumphantly, the four of you watch as from the cockpit window 4 geese heads
I've got your number,
and the Chinook goes up in an incredible ball of flame, and like You still gone?
I was going to suggest maybe it be slightly less bloodthirsty, and it and it sort of careens into the pond.
Or they could all just pop out.
I guess.
Well, okay. The Chinook explodes, the front windscreen explodes outwards, and 4 geese launched skywards, Team Rocket styly, and the now gooseless Chinook spirals uncontrollably and then lands right onto the roof of the brand new Waitrose, and as it rolls, it just demolishes every piece of it, flattening it into the earth like a rolling pin. And as the people of Bitton-on-Wey stand around in horror as their 4th Waitrose goes up in flames, we pan the camera to the little green alongside it, which is now scorched, and 4 geese happily chewing through some opening day fate cake. And with that all said and done, congratulations everyone on completing One Honk Before Midnight.
We got our cake!
Yay! You got the cake.
We never found out what flavour it was.
Oh, damn.
Cake flavour.
Lemon drizzle.
My favourite.
Birthday cake flavour.
Oh, yeah.
So, thank you everyone for indulging us in this
geese.
Geese. Thank you all for the donations. We're now at £460. We're only £40 away from a miserable me.
Yay! Miserable.
Yay.
So this was our 4th game. We've got 3 more left to go. We will jump on a quick break. We will be back at 5:30. Where we will be playing Effed Up Little Man. So fans of the dark, like the Soulsborne's games, so Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, all that sort, stick around if you are a fan of those games, because this is a tabletop RPG that completely parodies that in the best way possible. So thank you for playing. Thank you lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.